Assalamu alaikum. Good morning. Very beautiful morning today here. So here we go. First thing first, today I would like to talk about some basics that we need to start our weight loss journey. So first thing today, I would like to say that before we even start it, we need to know our current health. We need to know where we're standing right now. We need to know, what our basic things are, such as our measurements, our current weight, our other vitals that we should know on daily basis. So it's better to know right now and then start this weight loss, so that way you have something to compare to. So that's what I wanted to talk to about today. So let's see. The first thing, definitely, I would say that is the body measurement to begin with. So this is the first thing you want to do it. So at least you have some, history to it, and you can, as you're progressing throughout your weight loss, at least you can see where were you in the beginning and now where you at. So first thing I would say is, let's just grab a tape measure, measuring tape, and just to start as basic as measuring your body. So, and I would say, I will definitely put a link to this document on our chat group. So what you want to start is from top part down. So start from your neck. So measure your neck. That's very important. A lot of people will ask, why do we need to measure neck? So basically, when we start losing weight, we lose weight everywhere. And one of the things that we lose weight is around our neck. And also, speaking of neck, I would definitely say that you will also notice something. A lot of time when we gain weight, we're starting to snore a lot at night. And when you start losing weight, when your fats around your neck, they go away, and you'll see that your snoring will get better. Sometimes you totally completely get rid of it, but and sometimes you don't. In my case, apparently my wife says that I still snore, but I still need a proof. So we'll see. I'm planning to record my audio to see if I still snore or not. But apart from that, so measure your neck, then comes down to your shoulder. Make sure you measure your shoulders right from this area. Then comes to chest, right under your armpits, right here. Then goes down to your waist. Okay, so measuring waist it's not difficult, but it's something tricky here. Is a lot of people misses it, that don't measure or don't think that your waist is what you're wearing pants wise. That's not your real waist. So your waist should be measured right where your belly button is, and because right where you have the most stomach out. So make sure that you measure it right at the belly button area, and keep a note of that. And then what else? The thighs. Make sure you measure your thighs, your hip area. That's also very important, because a lot of people gain a lot of weight around thighs and hip area. So it's good to know all that. When you're losing weight, you see the progress happening. And then even calves, you can measure those as well. So these are all the things that you need to measure, just to make sure that you have it noted down somewhere. And you can use a just old school notebook, or you can also use some apps. Google has a really good app, Google Keep, that I use quite often. We make notes in there and just title it whatever, the health or whatever, and then you can keep a track of that. Or also, I will also talk about another app called MyFitnessPal, and I think over there, that's a very detailed app. It's free of charge. There's a premium version where you don't need to get that, and I will put a link in the description of this video, as well as I'll share it in the chat. That that MyFitnessPal app should be your go-to app. One of the reasons is because it has pretty much everything that you need. You can, as I just talked about, the measurements, you can put that, your weight, your goal weight, and it'll even calculate it for you quite a few things that, okay, if this is the goal weight you have, and how many pounds a week you want to lose, and all that stuff. But at least if not for that purpose, at least use it because we will need it for our measuring our food and weighing our food. All of that is very important. And then MyFitnessPal is pretty much go-to app. And so that there. So once you have done your measurement, then next thing comes up is a few terms that are being used when it comes to your health. You might have heard about it in the past as well, such as like BMI, BMR, and body fat, and a bunch of other things. So I'm not going to go into too complications here, but and we'll keep it as simple as possible. So what I will say is that start with the BMI. This is the first thing you want to know about yourself. What is BMI? I can say body mass index, what it stands for. And basically, this is a measurement. It tells you that whether you are underweight, normal weight, overweight, or obese, or even morbid obese. So these are the categories that easily gets defined by knowing your BMI. So that's very important. And there's a couple of ways to finding out what your BMI is. The easiest is there's a BMI calculator available online, and again I'll share that in the video chat as well. Sorry, the group chat, and I'll share the link in this description here. And that's one way of doing it. And the other way is if you have a smart scale. And that will calculate it for you. I'll just show you this scale right here. This is the smart scale. I'll talk about this scale in detail in about a minute. So just talking about the BMI, and also just wanted to say a brief thing here is that a lot of time, as basic as knowing your weight, a lot of people. Actually, you'll be surprised that they don't know how much they weigh. Like they have an idea, or they did it a month ago, or 2 months ago, or 6 months ago, and that's not good. You need to know your weight. You need to know it on not daily basis, but at least weekly. You should know where your weight is going, and that's a very serious indicator of how how's your health, like which way is it going, whether you're improving health or it's you're in poor shape or not. So knowing your weight is very important. Second thing is, so once you know your BMI, I can just share you quick information. So BMI is categorized in normal, overweight, obese, and then the next category is morbid obese. So if your BMI falls under 25, so you consider normal weight. And then if it's between 25 and 30, then you are overweight. And then 30 plus, anything 30 plus, 30 and 35, you're obese, and even 35 plus is morbid obese. So just wanted to explain quickly here between overweight and obese. So basically, overweight is like as soon as your ideal weight, whatever that you think your ideal weight is, or anything under 25 BMI is pretty much your ideal weight or normal weight, and anything over that comes into overweight. And being overweight is not a good thing, but it's better than being obese. So with overweight, you still in a category where your weight is gaining and you're slowly adding more fats and all that stuff. But if you pass being overweight and get into obesity, that's where the critical stuff kicks in. And you don't want to be in the obesity category. And one of the reasons I would say is because in obesity, your chances of getting cardiovascular diseases such as heart attack, stroke, or blood pressure, or diabetes, they just go way, way high. There's chances of getting all these diseases or any other disease, especially nowadays, this virus, coronavirus, and even getting that. Like there's research coming out of UK that the people who are obese are most likely to get coronavirus, and if they get it, their symptoms are much more worse than people who are normal weight. So that's very concerning. And trust me, one thing also want to say here is that a lot of people think, okay, I'm not obese, okay, I'm fine. But literally, once you do your BMI and once you know your weight, height, and everything, you realize that that a lot of people are already obese. I was once, I never considered myself, but I was not like I wasn't obese, but I was overweight and touching obesity. So just imagine that, like in all my life, I ate good, and I used to do bodybuilding back in 90s. So you can tell that, being into obese category is much easier than you think so. So first thing first, make sure I'll share this calculator. So make sure that you do you calculate your BMI, so at least you know where you are. And also, again, this will help again as you lose your weight, your BMI comes down, and that's very encouraging. And that's one of the things actually will keep you going. And speaking of keep going with the weight loss, there's other things that will definitely help you and keep you passionate about it, or it's your mindset and how you get into it. So that's one thing. Do your measurements today or tomorrow, whenever you get a chance. Write them down. Make sure you have a record of it. The best probably is to download MyFitnessPal. You can create an account. Make sure you create an account and then input all your measurements in there. I think they have a section over there. You can also write it down on your notebook, and then do your BMI. Right? If you have a smart scale, sure, that's fine. And if you don't worry about it. I'll use the calculator. Put your weight and your height and your age and your gender, and it will calculate the BMI for you. So that's there. And then next thing comes is blood pressure. As simple as blood pressure. Like we think that, okay, knowing your blood pressure, a lot of people don't know, first of all. And people think that blood pressure is something, okay, when you get sick, then, okay, and you go to a doctor, and then you will know, okay, well, the doctor will check your blood pressure, and then you will know, okay, well, that's what your blood pressure is. But it's just totally not acceptable these days. We have so much technology and so much resources these days, and the blood pressure machines have come down so much in price. Here you can buy it at a pharmacy for around $50, 50, 60, 70, 80 bucks. You can find a really good blood pressure machine, and then you can check it pretty much on a daily basis. I do it quite often, actually. Once a week or so in the morning, I do it. So at least I know where my blood pressure is. Another good thing about blood pressure is that a lot of people, first of all, don't even know, and you'll be surprised that quite a few people actually are already into a category where they considered that they already got the hypertension. So make sure that you know it and the range of it. Ideally, you should be in around 120 high and 80 lower one. But even if it's 130, it's okay. A lot of people say nowadays, because we have so much stress in our lives, that even a 140 is fine too. But I would say the lower the better. I can tell you my example. I was always around 120, 125. And ever since I lost 40 pounds, I was surprised too. I'm around 110. So my blood pressure is 110 and around 65, 70. Around 70, most of the time it stays around 70. Below 60 is concerning, or below 55 is concerning, but in 70s is fine. So that's what my blood pressure is. I mean, this is the kind of a blood pressure you get in teenagers. So that's my point, is that, once you lose weight, when you start losing weight, you're not only just losing weight and starting to look good, but also you're starting to gain all these benefits, health benefits that really help. So, okay, I'm already 14 minutes in. I didn't know that. Okay. Sorry, it's a long video, but I just wanted to talk about a few things here. So body measurement, knowing your BMI, knowing your blood pressure. What else? Resting heart rate. That's another indicator of how good you're doing. So, hang on for a second. I just wanted to share the blood pressure machine. This is how it looks. You can easily purchase it anywhere at a local pharmacy store. So as far as I was going to say is that know your heart rate, resting heart rate. Resting heart rate is if you're not doing anything and you're just sitting, and know your heart rate, because it should be in 60s. Your resting heart rate, if your resting heart rate is in 60s, that indicates that your heart is in good shape, and if the heart is good shape, then means that a lot of other organs in your body are in good shape as well, or overall health. It's a very good indicator of your overall health. The athletes, their resting heart rate sometimes goes into 50s. So that tells that, how fit they are. So, but I've seen quite a few people that their resting heart rate is in hundreds, like in 90s or early hundreds, and that's concerning. And you can improve that by, again, losing weight and also doing some exercises, and gaining your stamina, and doing some cardiovascular exercises and things like that, cardio. So do that. There's ways to do it. The easiest is just put your thumb on it, start counting different times of the day, especially before food. Try that. That's very important, and then find out what it is and write it down somewhere. Next thing I would say is that, okay, probably will have to go to the doctor for that, is sugar, knowing your sugar, doing your sugar test. So and especially do it on empty stomach, because that will tell you exactly whether your sugar is normal, or you're pre-diabetic or diabetic. And you'll be surprised at how many people turn out to be pre-diabetic. Pre-diabetic is when you're really on the edge. And if you don't take care of yourself, you don't lose weight, you're going to fall into diabetes. And then, from there is just a downhill. A lot of people will just briefly touch diabetes. Diabetes is a new cancer. Trust me. I mean, you don't want to get into that. Once you have diabetes, it is starting to corrode your body from inside. All the organs slowly going down. A lot of people think, oh, diabetes, I have it, I'll take some medicine, right? And it's a lifelong disease and everybody has it. Trust me, diabetes is the one disease that is pretty much, killing everybody around the world. I would say that is a hard word, but that's what I say. With the diabetes, you're starting to, the diabetes affect everything from kidneys, liver, heart, and your overall performance, your overall health. And then once you have diabetes, then it's just, it's downhill. Reason for that is that because you started to gain weight, and when you started to gain weight, and then there's nothing stopping. So control your diabetes, make sure that your sugar is in control. And that's the one thing that will be talked on this channel and in our chat group as well in very detail, because this is our entire weight loss program revolves around, and it's about insulin and diabetes. So please do that. You can find these home kits as well to test your sugar. If some of your parents have diabetes, you might already have that machine, and you can use their machine and test it on a regular basis. Otherwise, you can just visit a local doctor, and if you're in Pakistan, you can easily get it done there as well. And last but not least is get a standard blood test. If you can. If you can't, that's fine too. Here in Canada, you can just go to your family doctor and ask them to do it, and they will gladly do it. And the result comes online, and you can compare it and look through it. So basically, a blood test will tell you all your vitals, all your for example, it'll tell you your iron values, and also the most important, the cholesterol. So by knowing your cholesterol levels is very important, because a lot of time you will see there might be a few people in this group as well that their BMI might be fine. They might not be overweight, even they might be actually normal weight, but their eating habits are exactly the same as anybody who's overweight or obese. So what that tells that yes, they have good genes maybe, and they might have a little bit extra time before it catches up to you, but one thing that you can have without being obese is cholesterol. And if you have cholesterol, that means that you are, again, the chances of getting into cardiovascular diseases are high. And you, by knowing your cholesterol, your LDL and HDL, again, LDL is the bad cholesterol, HDL is the good one. So by knowing those values is a very good thing to know, because then you can, pay more attention to your diet and find out which things are causing that, and go from there. So I think it's already 20 minutes in. I would probably wrap this up. So the reason why I wanted to just cover these few things here quickly is to just get us going. And I'm trying to make these videos as soon as possible, but it's just my first experience as well. So hopefully you get some information. I will share a few links that I talked about here on this video in our group chat as well. And then we'll have some conversation. If you have any questions, you can ask in the group, or you can also private message me, and I'll be glad to answer those questions. And please feel free to ask, because that's why I created the group, because we wanted to share all this information, and we want to, anybody has any good information, it's good to have and good to know. So until next video, inshallah, I will see you again. The next one, I will try to cover these things, these tools a little bit more. But then, of course, I want to get into nitty-gritty stuff, which is, which everybody's waiting for, like how we're gonna lose weight, or what are the diets are, and what are the key things are that make us lose weight and stay on that pattern. So inshallah, we'll talk in the next video. Thank you.